Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are group 4 and we are going to present about our material under the title Language and Gender. I'm Lisnawati. I will explain about the example.
And I am Asrini, and I will explain about the definition of language and gender.
I am Saramianti. I will explain about the relationship between language and gender.
Okay, just cut the case and let's talk about it.
Well, the first of all, I'm gonna explain about the definition of language and gender. So, language and gender is a subfield of sociolinguistic that studies about varieties of speech and social norms of language used associated with a particular gender. It is female or male. And then in addition, there is a difference between the terms sex and gender. Sex is a biological difference between female and female, while the gender is a social construct involving genetic, psychological, cultural, social differences between female and male, thus making them man or woman. So that's all about the definition of language and gender.
The relationship between language and gender can be realized in three types of relationship according to Gradle and John in 2003. The first one is language reflects gender division. So, language is viewed as a reflection of society. The second one is language creates gender division. Language and discourse in which humans engage can shape personality and social life. And the last one is language and social structure influence each other. For example, it can be seen how a language reproduces traditional concept of masculinity and femininity.
All by ourselves.
Yep, we have to pay for it now. So after we'd rented that at that same apartment for about 4.5 years, and when we decided, okay, we want to buy a house, what was that buying process like?
What was the buying process like?
Yeah, when we decided, okay,
Well,
I think we want to buy, what happened next?
The first thing you have to do is make sure you have enough money,
Sure.
because it takes a lot of money up front to buy a house. You have to be able to put down what they call a down payment. And for a long time, we couldn't afford a down payment.
Yeah, a down payment's usually 20% of the price of the house, which is a lot of money. If you buy a house in the US, it's usually $150,000 up to anything, $500,000 if you have a lot of money. So even 20% of, $200,000, that's $40,000 that you have to have in cash to hand over. Plus, there's some other expenses, like when you buy a house, there's other expenses that you have to pay for. So you need a big chunk of money when you're thinking, okay, am I ready to buy a house?
It's a long process. And it's gotten more difficult in the US because all the prices, especially in places younger people want to live, have gone way up compared to when our parents were younger. So we bought our first house way later than our parents.
Based on the demographic theory from that video, we can understand and know about the woman usually when they communicate or speak to get support from the interlocutors. The second is the woman express her feelings more. For example, in the video, the woman said that it's too expensive. So the statement is described about this point. And the third is about the end of statement usually use arithmetic. So how about the men? In general, the men when they communicate or speak just focus on one topic. And the second is a lack of mistakes. Why? Because the men when they speak usually they think that before they talk about.
Okay, that's all our explanation about language and gender.
So sorry for our mistakes.
We hope you enjoy our video.
And thank you. Wallahu muwaffiq ila sabilir rasyad. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.